The First Crusade and the Siege of Jerusalem in 1099 stands as one of the most dramatic and consequential military campaigns in history. It emerged from a volatile combination of religious zeal and political opportunism that swept Western Europe in the final decade of the 11th century. In November 1095, at the Council of Clermont, Pope Urban II delivered a speech that would change history, calling for the liberation of the Holy Land. Urban's speech unleashed a torrent of enthusiasm, drawing cries of "God wills it," and sending tens of thousands marching toward the east. The appeal was profound. Jerusalem was the holiest site in Christendom, and Urban promised the full remission of sins to those who took the cross. Before the knights left, the People's Crusade, a ragged army of the poor, marched ahead and was largely annihilated in Anatolia. The main crusading army, led by powerful nobles like Godfrey of Bouillon and Raymond of Toulouse, departed in the autumn of 1096. They converged on Constantinople, where they swore tense oaths to Emperor Alexios V to return conquered territories to Byzantine control. The army crossed into Anatolia, winning at Dorylaeum, but suffering a brutal march under searing heat that cost thousands of lives. The Siege of Antioch was an epic 8-month ordeal of famine and disease, ending with the desperate and miraculous defense of the city. Morale was saved by the supposed discovery of the Holy Lance, the spear that pierced Christ's side, found buried beneath a church. Finally, in January 1099, the march southward resumed, winding down the coast until the Crusaders reached Jerusalem on June 7th. They found a well-fortified city held by a Fatimid Egyptian garrison under the command of Governor Iftikhar ad-Dawla. The governor had prepared carefully, poisoning the wells outside the city and driving out the local Christians to conserve resources. The initial assault was a disaster. The Crusaders lacked siege equipment, and their impetuous attempt to storm the walls failed completely. Desperate for water and suffering under the ferocious Palestinian summer, the army was also racing against an approaching relief army from Egypt. On July 8th, the entire army performed a barefoot procession around the walls, a spiritual act they believed would lead to divine intervention. With wood from arrived Genoese ships, engineers Gaston of Béarn and William Ricard began constructing 2 massive siege towers. They worked with frantic urgency, dismantling buildings and cutting every available tree to finish the towers before the Fatimids arrived. On July 15, Godfrey's tower reached the northern wall. They ignited the defenders' straw cushions and dropped the drawbridge. What followed was a horrific massacre. The Crusaders killed virtually everyone they found, Muslims and Jews alike, in a comprehensive slaughter. Godfrey of Bouillon was elected ruler, but he refused the title of king in the city where Christ had worn a crown of thorns. The Siege of Jerusalem remains a pivotal moment, a wound in history that continues to resonate 1,000 years later.